I'm Balázs Simon, a Hungarian-born director based in London. My life as a director started with Ray, the music video I did for Nils Fram. Apparently, he broke his finger, and during the healing process he recorded a piano piece every day. So, in a sense, those tracks gain meaning by that very finger that was broken. So that's how the concept of the film came to be, with the stag in the fractured environment, which he eventually fixes. But by fixing it, in turn, his existence loses purpose. Wurlitzer by Leifer James starts out like a piano piece, but then this noisy sound creeps in and gradually drowns the piano out. It destroys the melody, but in its wake, a beat emerges. A new life, but perhaps something more mechanical. For me, it was the sound of codependence between creation and destruction. I wanted something that spoke to me, that was unpredictable, that had flows, that threw curveballs. And for the first time, I think I felt I was onto something. I started exploring techniques I couldn't fully control, and by exploring these artificial worlds, I found that in the cracks there is humanity, there is truth to be found. So I started documenting those. When creating AAID for Leifer James, we started playing around with 3D scans with fellow director David Deledra, and we found that when your scans are not precise enough, things start melting together and becoming a bit vague and fragmented, and we're like, well, that's like memories. So we use this effect to float from space to space, memory to memory, to explore a relationship falling apart.
Wise old man in my brain, so bursting through my veins.
We scanned our own living spaces, which I found really interesting on a personal level, because it is our reality, but it's still filled with our own biases. It's so distorted in that sense. And for me, the film is not just about a broken relationship between humans, but a broken relationship with our own perception as well. Another film I did with Leifer James was Angel in Disguise. I really wanted to do live action. I wanted to interact with something that felt tangible, that was beyond me, that contradicted me, that fought against me. And I think I got that. We shot it in an andesite mine. It was a really cold day. I think it was February. And as soon as we set up, we were hit by this incredible windstorm of about 100 kilometers per hour. Small pebbles were flying in the air horizontally. It was proper scary. It completely ripped our set apart, so I don't think we managed to shoot 1/3 of what was actually planned. So I had to resort to a lot of post-work and abstract imagery. But I think it played into the concept of clashing life with the lifeless.
This love's a heart attack.
I created Heart Attack for Bronze Zone during the COVID lockdown, which resulted in quite an interesting shoot. We captured the empty Budapest streets without any kind of subject, and then those shots were later used as the motion source for the cameras. And separately, we captured the performance of the actress, so no big setups, no big crews were needed. The film has an element of interpretive dance that is so physical so real, and the clash of that with the artificial environment is quite interesting in my opinion. In Thelma and Louise for Bastille, the characters run away from their tangible reality into these colorful, upbeat dream worlds. For me personally, that's equivalent to a nightmare. But what if in those spaces they find actual, real human connections? What if technology gives them a possibility instead of getting in the way? It's not that easy to tell in that sense. I created those characters completely algorithmically. We 3D scanned the actress and the band members, and then we recreated them from these sort of three-dimensional pixels that fall apart when they start moving around. Technology exposes itself. I think that was the first time when I seriously got into coding. You know, when you write code, from a point on it becomes a bit difficult to track what's going on, so it has an element of surprise that keeps me excited.
You cunts won't listen, so I think it's time to speak my mind.
I was working on a music video, Wake Up, Pass Out, for Sad Night Dynamite, when I met Portugal-born Katia Abreu. We started chatting about the film, and it immediately became clear that she has this phenomenal sense for film language. Our chats were so electrifying, so eye-opening, that I immediately wanted her to jump on board and become a co-director. Suddenly, I found myself in a company that was so incredibly supportive, but at the same time my ideas were challenged, and I can't tell you enough how important that is, how valuable that is. So we started working together, and that reignited my excitement for telling stories. In the video, we wanted to explore a special kind of hell. At that point, I was so fed up with social media. It felt like this abomination version of reality, with instant gratification and zero meaning or substance. That's where the idea of this jaded, attention-craving monster came from. Instead of being in the present and watching the real band, perform on stage, we go to social media, to the backstage, and consume whatever is fed to us, which in turn consumes us. To pull it off, we made this two-headed prosthetic bodysuit and a couple of tentacles we puppeteered around on set. And the rest was created by CGI. I find it quite ironic that we created this gruesome monster lacking any kind of real value or substance, thus becoming a part of the problem. I'm guessing we are all complicit.